Thank you for listening to the Raising Bosses podcast. I hope you enjoyed, and please tell your friends and family. Go ahead and share this podcast on social media. If you or someone you know would like to be a part of this podcast, please email us at raisingbosses@gmail.com, or you could DM us on all our social medias, our Raising Bosses on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you and goodbye. Thank you for joining us, guys. It's Shauna J. Ray, and thank you for tuning in to Raising Bosses. Today, I have with me Janee Kinnard. She is the entrepreneur and owner of On The Go Boss. She owns 2 businesses, and she is a mom of a wonderful little boy, and I'm glad she's joining me today for this interview. Janee, thank you so much for joining me.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Okay, let's get this interview started. So, Janee, would you mind just telling me a little bit more about yourself and maybe a little bit about your family?
Yes. So again, I am Janee. My last name is currently Kinnard. I just recently got married in March. So that's new to hear it to be said Janee Kinnard instead of Janee Howard. So it's a little funny for me. I am a mom of 1.5. So I have a 19-month-old. His name is Jaden. And I have a baby on the way. I am currently 6 months pregnant. We are expecting that one in July. He was actually due on our original wedding date. So my little one will be here sometime in July. Knowing my history with pregnancies, he'll probably be late like my first one.
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah.
I had almost an elephant pregnancy with my second.
Yeah, I was beyond ready with that one, and I'm already ready with this.
Oh yeah, 6 months and I'm done. Sick of
And yes, I do own 2 businesses. One is On The Go Boss, which is my blog that I have recently started monetizing. And then the second one is On The Go Photo. It is a photo booth rental company located here in Tennessee.
Beautiful. So I'm assuming I know you through at least one group on Facebook, because we've actually been friends on Facebook for a while now. And I don't know why I didn't know you had all these fabulous things going on. And I saw a picture of you guys the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's so adorable, and you're pregnant, and I saw your baby. And then I went on your Instagram, and I was like, wait a minute. I love this. Your photo booth is amazing.
Yes, thank you.
That is amazing. So can you tell me a little bit more in depth about each of your businesses and your blog? I didn't realize that it was also a blog. You did say that earlier.
Yes. So On The Go Photo, it is a, right now I have 2 full-length mirror photo booths. So what they are they're about 4.5 feet tall. They are full-length mirrors that are interactive, touchscreen, voice animated. They're photo booths. So they do everything that a normal photo booth would do. It's just a new age form of technology. They take the pictures right there on the spot. They print the pictures on the spot, and I customize everything for my guests, from the pictures themselves to the photo layouts to even the backdrops and props. So, for example, I had some events this weekend, and one of my favorites was a birthday party, a 50th birthday party we did, and everything was customized for their Cheers to 50 Years event. So everything for that birthday party was completely the host request that I designed for her.
Wow. That
Yes.
is very nice, because I'm used to the roll-up photo booths, or like the person stands there with like that camera contraption and the backdrop. Yours is really intricate. You have 2 of them.
Yes.
Wow. That is amazing. Okay. And then can we know more about the blog and how you've monetized that as well, if you don't mind sharing?
Yes. I want to say honestly born. I am not a person that can stay at home and do absolutely nothing. So honestly, that's how my blog began. When I was on maternity leave, I couldn't just sit there and just do nothing. I was bored out of my mind. So I was just like, I'm going to do a blog. And that's honestly how it became to be. The week that I went on maternity leave, I had kind of already got into my little groove of how I was breastfeeding and caring for my son. So during his nap times, which babies nap a lot, I would just write because people would ask me questions all the time anyway. So I was kind of killing two birds with one stone. So On the Boss became to be out of people asking me a lot of questions and not having the time to answer individual questions, but just answering them overall in a group. So the blog started in 2017, around the time my son was born. So I want to say October, September-ish. And that's all that it was at first, was a blog. And then being the entrepreneur that I am today, or becoming, I was just like, I can make money from this and I need to figure out how. So I took the monetizing approach this year. Pretty much from last year to this year, I was building my plan on how I was going to do it. And then I just put it into action at the beginning of this year. So I started releasing products one by one in February of this year. And I plan to do that every month for the remainder of the year, releasing one new product
Oh, okay, beautiful.
each month. So all of the products are tailored to an on-the-go boss. So things that you would need while you're traveling, or that I feel that I needed while I was traveling, just in a cute, functional way instead of just the old stuffy way, because I'm always trying to think outside the box.
So, is that the only way that you monetize your blog, is through your materials, or have you monetized in any other ways?
I'm just now starting to get offers for like affiliate programs and placing ads. I don't really want to do that just yet, just because it's my blog and I kind of want to keep it my own. And I feel like once I start, accepting those offers, it kind of takes away of the focus of what I wanted to do. So for right now, yes, it's just me selling my own products, my own creations. Maybe end of the year, closer to the end of the year next year, I'll start thinking of other ways. But for right now, yes, that's the only way.
Okay, wow. Yeah, like I also have a blog, and it's also called Raising Bosses. And isn't that perfect? On
Yeah.
the go boss, raising bosses. Let's do this. I got it. So I also do ads, and yeah, I get the whole ad thing. Now the affiliate programs, I always tell everybody about affiliate programs because we tend to talk about things that we use on a day-to-day basis. Oh my gosh, I love my phone.
Yes.
But you're not getting paid to talk about it. And we don't even realize how many things have affiliate programs that you can naturally link in your blog, in your regular Facebook group. I actually had a friend the other day, she was talking about Grove Collaborative and Wayfair.
Mm-hmm.
Just naturally expressing about something she's actually using and bought and whatever. And I said, are you on the affiliate program though? Are
Probably,
you making money with that?
probably not.
And she didn't even know about it. So I always tell people, especially with a blog, naturally just linking what you already work with, Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
Target, their Sally's, anything you can think of, most of them have an affiliate program for. So if that's something, it won't take away from what you were talking about. It won't take away from your business or how you have your structure, because I'm pretty sure I can look through this and I can send you 10 links for stuff that you could be affiliates for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's stuff that you've already mentioned, and then you go back, you throw your links in, and then now you're getting paid for who's clicking, and you don't have to worry about ads. I know some affiliate programs are different. Like, I'm not saying you should accept them and then be like, okay, now I have to talk about this, because when it comes to my blog, I'm kind of the same way. It's very, I have like a structure that I want to keep behind it with what I speak about. And Like certain things I'm like, no, I don't think I would want to write about this on my blog.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the same way. I just started dibbling in Amazon affiliates. And
Good,
I was
good,
just
good.
like, oh my God, as much stuff as I use that if I would have known this was here at the beginning, I would have merged that into there, a long time ago. So that's probably about the only ones that I do. Like if it's an affiliate program like that, then I'm okay with it. But if it's one where you're telling me I have to schedule a post to post your product and I have to say something or a script, I'm not with that. Like, let me just give my honest opinion on it and just be done.
I agree completely. So I always tell everyone, first of all, everybody use Amazon for everything in the first place.
Yes.
We talk about these things naturally, and it's like, one thing I noticed is certain things we talk about, you don't even have to have just bought it off Amazon. The fact that it's on Amazon to begin with, you can just link it. You could talk about it and give people links to it. And, it doesn't even have to be a problem. And look, now you got paid. So I like to just let everyone know that if you're listening to this, if you can join. It's for everybody. Also, I just got into the influencer program that Amazon has, where you can actually have a store of your links, of your recommendations, of your things that you purchased or whatever. And you go in and you set up the store the way you want to. And it's literally somewhere you can send people and say, hey, if you ever have a question on what I use, what I purchase, whatever, bam, it's in my store right here. This is my favorite camera. This is my lighting. These are my this is my that. And, there you go. And I think you only have to have 2,500 followers on Instagram.
And it's crazy that you say that because I just started that.
Oh, good. Because I don't think everybody knows about that.
They actually sent me that information. I didn't know anything about it.
It's so funny. I've known about that for a while because I know a few YouTubers that have their own store like that. And I never understood how to get it because I've been in the affiliate program for like 2 years now. So about 6 months ago, I tried to do it. They denied me. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not big enough. They don't really have any rules on there. So then the other day, Social Book, I'm on Social Book, and I got an invite, and it was like, hey, you fit these requirements. Mm-hmm. Hey, try the thing. They denied me again. So The denial that they gave me was I had some type of inappropriate, thing that I wasn't supposed to have on my YouTube channel. So I emailed them. I was like, I can't figure out how to fix whatever this is. They sent me back, oops, that's our mistake. You're approved.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what the requirements are either because I was just looking like I honestly thought it was spam. I was like, I didn't sign up for this. What is this? But I mean, it works. I've already started making money from it. I've had it for about 2.5, almost 3 weeks.
Beautiful.
And I literally just attached it to, people love videos of my son doing crazy things. And he was playing with his little kitchen. And I just attached that link of his kitchen that I purchased from Amazon to that video. And I guess people were clicking on it. And whatever they purchased from that, I got money back from that. So, I mean, it was easy to do it that way. I don't think it's fully set up, but.
Yeah, I haven't finished linking my products, but I love how you just said that, you didn't even push it like that. This is what I try to tell people. And I love that you just added one more way that I wasn't aware of adding your links. And it's like I said, you naturally were going to talk about it. People were going to naturally ask you about it. So guys, don't ask me nothing. It's in the link in the description.
Yes,
it's right
everything
here.
You need to know.
Everything. And listen, if you like that toy, there's like 5 other toys right next to it.
And it does that. The link is, I think it's tailored to your account.
Yes.
And it does everything on its own. It calculates how much it's going to give you. I mean, for me, getting money for something that I was literally going to say and post and do anyway, that's just another way of gaining income in my book.
That's beautiful. I think I need to do a whole podcast on just things we didn't know about affiliate programs or something. I don't know. There is also, I noticed that you have a YouTube channel as well. And
yeah,
that is another good way. You just mentioned something. I was telling my friend the other day is to have a favorites video.
Okay.
So, like I said, we naturally have things on YouTube or on Amazon that we like. So you can actually have like a video and say, hey, Amazon, my favorite Amazon toys for my son. And you sit down with his toys and he's playing with one of them. And you're like, yeah, this one he likes. And this is the kitchen from this video and da 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 da. And then you link your store, you link the links in it right there. And now that's another way. Because the kid, the kids' toys, we don't have to talk about that.
Yeah.
That's tops.
It gets a lot of attention. I honestly just started my YouTube channel last month, and it's literally because I was posting videos anyway, and I was tired of storing them on my phone. Everything that I start, now that I think about it and I say it out loud, it kind of begins from, okay, what am I going to do with this now? So that's pretty much how it started. I just started it last month. I really haven't given it any much attention. I need to. It's sad, but
Well, I understand completely. Like, I started twice on YouTube, and only the last 2 years have taken it seriously.
okay.
So I understand. I mean, you have a tiny, tiny one. So I know when I first had my second daughter that it wasn't that easy, but exactly. A lot of people flourish for some reason. And like a lot of the big bloggers, YouTubers, they start from the same air. Like, well, I did this because da 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 da. I was bored, or I just like to put makeup on, and I wanted to show other people that I put makeup on.
Yeah, or they had some stupid viral video.
Exactly. And then they're like, well, then I just kept doing that. Or my vlogs because I was bored, or I wanted family photos. I'm kind of in the realm of all of those.
Then with me, I know because we travel a lot, and if I would have had these ideas years ago when it was just back then, my boyfriend and I, we traveled so much together over the course that we've been together, and I never recorded it because I'm one of those people
In the
that
moment.
I'm in the moment. If I'm on vacation, you will not reach me because I don't have my phone on me. Generally, I don't like to be bothered. That's my vacation, my to myself and the people that I'm with space. So people would say that all the time. How did you go here? You got all of these great pictures. It's like, well, I brought a camera. I didn't use my phone for one. And then when I go back and look on it, I was just like, I have so many travel photos that I could have posted or recorded about and told people about. And I'm already a reviewer. If I'm coming to your restaurant for the first time, you better believe that I will be reviewing it very honestly on how I was treated, the food, and so on and so forth. So now thinking about that, I'm just like, okay, so now I'm going to start recording, especially with kids, because people ask me, how do we do it? And honestly, I have to just say it's my son. He's just great. So he doesn't really cause us problems. He likes to look out the window. As long as I have that window seat on the airplane and he can look out the window, he's fine.
That's beautiful. That's what I like to. I like to harp on this so much. This is one of the reasons that I started the podcast, is that sometimes we give ourselves these excuses that our kids are our burden for not doing stuff. I'm not saying it's easy with kids, but it's possible.
Yes.
It's doable. We have to find a way to fix it. We have to find a way to, whatever the problem might be, quotation marks. But it's like you can travel, you can have a business, you can, be that person. You don't have to give up everything in your life just because you have kids.
Yes.
And I love hearing stories like yours, like, oh, well, we can still do this. You know what I mean? And I'm the type of person that now, in the last year, since taking my YouTube seriously, since wanting to be an at-home mom with a type of full-time job that I don't have to clock into, I have tried to figure out, how do I make money from my day-to-day life? And one of those things is vlogging, is showing people what you use, telling people, hey, you're going to buy it anyway, or I bought this, and, or whatever that thing is that you were offered that you actually use. So if you actually use something that, or how do I put it? So I was given something to look at or whatever, and I have an affiliate program for it. I'm going to take that opportunity because I'm going to actually use this product. Now I'm going to show my friends. So it's like, I'm trying to figure out, how can I make money? It doesn't have to be difficult anymore. You know what I mean? So I love, that you have like different aspects. You have different avenues too. Because I often see people, they're like, they have to create a product. And it's like, I feel like sometimes things are so like one channel that we don't realize that
Yes.
there's various ways to do things.
I tell people, especially being the oldest, I have all younger siblings. I have 3 younger siblings. And my husband's, he's the oldest. So I take his siblings as my siblings as well.
Yes,
And
been
we're
there.
kind of one of the same. So I tell them all the time, think about 5 ways that you can make money and have, passive income.
Oh, you speaking all my language. I knew we was going to connect on too many levels right now. I love
I
that.
just, I don't understand. It's like so many people do things and don't realize,
And ways to make money from it.
yeah, you can easily make money from something. It may not be, hundreds of dollars at a time, but any income coming in and you're doing absolutely nothing or the bare minimum to get it, it is helping you out.
And I always say this on like every podcast, and I always get the right people to talk to because they understand me on every level. People say, "Oh, I thought about it the other day," and people are like, "Oh, but this is too much work," and "Oh, but da da da." But in the same breath, they go, "But this 9 to 5 is making me tired, and this is,"
Yes.
and it's like, but you won't do the bare minimum right now to get the passive income that you don't
To
have to
get yourself started.
exactly that, like have this fund something, so let's make this video, have, and people find every excuse why they're not cut out for it, why they can't do it, why this is not going to work at this time, but then we'll clock in and clock out and complain about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm fresh from the corporate America scene.
Oh,
I
that was just,
just
I was about to ask that question next.
Okay, I'll let you ask the
Well,
question.
no, continue. Like, I want to know your background. I want to know where you started from before these businesses. That is exactly the next question. Go on, continue.
Yeah, I just switched over. So my on the go photo was my original jump into entrepreneurship. And that began, I don't want to say anything bad about the company, but I'm just going to leave them unnamed. That began for the simple fact that I have always been a hard worker and I am self determined, self motivated, the whole nine. And I like to be the best at whatever I do. So let's just say I'm going to toot my own horn. I am probably one of the best workers that they had. Um, the moment that I start feeling like I'm being disrespected or not valued or taken advantage of, in my head, I'm automatically starting to think of what am I about to do to get up out of here? Because I don't want to work in an environment where I dread going to work every day.
Which everybody mostly does.
When I first started my job, my first manager that hired me, I loved it. I loved everything about it. So going to work did not feel like work. I'm supposed to work, 9 hours a day, and some days I will pull 12 and didn't even know it because I
I've been
enjoyed
there.
what I was doing. He left and got a promotion, so we got someone else. Let's just say that. And then, like from that point on, I was counting strikes, and I give any company 3 strikes, and I'm gone. It's because I feel like people hold on to jobs like it's their life.
It's true.
You do not have to stay somewhere where you're being disrespected. You do not have to stay somewhere where you just are miserable every day. And that's the reason why I feel like people do bad jobs. It's because they're going to work and they're miserable. If you're miserable, find another job. If it's not a career or your dream, then put your energy into finding another place to go. So that's what I started doing. Once my company hit that 3rd strike, I knew in my head that either I was going somewhere else or I was going to do my own thing. So On the Go Photo was already in the creation process for about 6 months. And that 3rd strike with my job kind of happened around the same time that I was ready to take that leap anyway. I was going to start it off as doing it part-time, but because those two were kind of happening hand in hand, I just went on ahead and said, you know what? I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice. I'm using my vacation days that I have left, and I'm not coming back. And I did it in a professional way. I don't burn bridges, if it's a good situation. But that's literally how it happened. I literally put in my 2 weeks, said that it was time for me to go, and I went on ahead and put all of my time and energy into my own business. It was not easy in the beginning. It's still not easy now. But if you think about it the way that I was thinking about it, I'm putting in a minimum of 45 hours at my job. If I put the same 45 hours minimum for myself in my own career, in my own, whatever it may be, music, books, whatever you want to do, look how far you can get. And that was just what I kept telling myself the first 3 months. And within those first 3 months, the same energy and time and effort that I was putting into myself, that I was putting into my job, I was able to I got 15 bookings in the first 3 months. And that was being a nobody. That was no one knowing who On The Go Photo was. That was me reaching out to people who said they had events coming up. That was me getting up at the same time that I would have gotten up for work, preparing emails for the day or preparing a call list for the day and saying, hey, I see you have an event. I have a photo booth company. Maybe we can work something out. And that was me taking offers that I would definitely not take now.
Of course,
you know,
we all start somewhere.
yeah, you got to start somewhere. I know what I'm worth. So eventually, you get to that point. But being new, you kind of have to humble yourself. You can't go offering people your full what you want to, like what I offer now, and you have no anything under your belt. So
I saw
yeah,
I saw the prices that you have. Those are as far as I know, that's what they go for. That's what the photo booths go for. Because
yes.
my stepmom has rented for my sister's quinceañeras. She has rented them, and she told me she paid those prices, and hers wasn't like yours.
Yeah,
Yours is like new. I've never seen that before.
In the beginning, I had that up there, obviously, because that's the prices that I want to get to. But I was making deals. If you want to offer me, hey, come here and we'll let you pass out all of your business cards. We'll let you do this. We'll let you do that. And we'll give you X amount of dollars. If it sounded good to me personally, I took it. Now I'm to the point where if you give me an offer and it doesn't sound like what my prices are listed, that's a whole nother story. But in the beginning, I was definitely humble. If you are responding to my emails and you are returning my phone calls, you are business in my book, and I will not let you go until you have booked me.
I love that you talk about reaching out to people. And me and a friend were discussing this the other day. I literally just started, trying to become more of a micro influencer recently. And I had always been hearing, I did all the research and everybody's like, well, you have to reach out to people. You have to reach out to people. And we don't realize that we can literally, well, where do you want to be? You have to be in events. That is what you do. You are an event situation. Like you are going to be for parties and vending things and conventions and stuff like that. So reach out to those people. Reach out to those, if you're a photographer, reach out to family and friends. Reach out to people having weddings. Like, hey, I saw you post about your weddings. Do you need a photographer? And it's like sometimes we're scared to ask. Sometimes we are not sure what we want. And it's like that you just proved another point. Like I like to always say, closed mouth don't get fed.
True.
So
very true.
I mean, you're naturally answering a lot of my questions just as you flow into the conversation, and I love that. I want to know, let me just skip a few pages down here. I want to know, what other ways did you go about promoting each of your businesses, your blog and your photo? You can tell me in any order that you'd like.
I dibble and dabble until I find what works for each one. So with On The Go Photo, it was literally just me doing that initial research. So for like a week, I just sought out avenues that were, advertising people who were doing parties, birthdays, weddings, and I was making me a list. I am a low-key computer nerd. Same. And I love my Excel spreadsheets. So I pretty much was
corporate
anybody
life.
I guess that's why it came so easy. Anybody who was talking about a wedding, I would put them on my wedding Excel spreadsheet. Anybody who talks about, my birthday's coming up, yeah, you're definitely going on the birthday spreadsheet. And I even had it color coordinated. Here's my nerd coming out. color coordinated to if I thought you were gonna book or if I didn't think you were gonna book. If you were like red, you were definitely not booking. If you were like green or yellow, okay, I'm gonna work a little harder towards you because you're engaging back and forth. And then after like 4 days, I would delete all of the red people.
Your organization skills, though.
Yeah, that it's a good thing and a bad thing. I get that from my managers a lot. That's the one thing that they used to tell me they loved.
How can you hate organization?
Because I organize other people's stuff. It's kind of, I do not like messes. I am like a label. If I could carry my
Oh my
label maker with
gosh.
me, it would be attached to me. And I should probably make something like that. Attach a label maker to like a, nah, that's just going off on a
No, it's
tangent. But
not. But
I am one of those people.
when you make it though, can I grab one?
Right. I love to have things organized, which brings me to my husband, who is the complete opposite, and he drives me crazy.
I have one of those too.
Yes, I'm looking over here in his section of the office, and I'm just gonna pray for it.
That's me in the
If I can
closet.
just him too. I cannot stand it. It's just like
Kindred spirits, it seems.
yes. Why did the universe pair us with people who are kind of the polar opposite?
Because opposites attract, and they're here to make us crazy. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, he makes me crazy, but I still love him at the end
Right?
of the
It's
day.
like, why? Can you just put that back though?
Like that shirt definitely should go on a hanger and not on the floor.
But
Can
the hamper.
Yeah.
But it's right.
And we won't even get started on my closet because he thinks I'm crazy anyway. I have my closet color coordinated.
Why is that crazy?
If I was to take a picture of my side of the closet and his side of the closet, it's like night and day.
Oh, I think I know that. I think I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh, too well.
It's night and day.
We over here like, no,
I hope
understand
my
that,
son inherits my semi OCD genes and not his, because I cannot take 3 men in my house throwing shoes and shirts and hats everywhere when there is a place for it to go.
Everything has a home. Oh my God.
It does. I say that that is my argument when I'm yelling and I'm cleaning up. Why is this here? Why is it not in its home location? It's labeled for you.
Oh, as long as it's not just me, I feel so much better about my life. Oh,
I know it's not just us. Trust me.
so sorry. I didn't cut you off to what we was talking about. We talking about organ. You talking my language. I think you're talking too much. My language is gonna be a 4-hour podcast.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were telling me how you promote it and you like to organize, and that's.
Mm-hmm. And then with On the Go Boss, it was more of, I guess, a need for things that I needed while I was on the go. That's how the monetizing portion got started. And I hated looking for stuff, and then I would find it and it would be ugly. It's just like, okay, why is this planner, or why is this set, or why is this, the little carrier that you put all of your stuff in my case, infant stuff in, and attach it to your back seat so it's organized. Why does this have to be ugly
and colorful?
So it was just more of a way to bring functional items that, the everyday entrepreneur or boss or whatever can use, just in a new age fashion. And it doesn't have to look like we took it from our grandparents' house or something.
Oh my gosh, I completely agree. So, do you do ads? Do you promote in the groups? I did see you had a Groupon one time for your photo booth. What other, do you do any other ways like that with your promotions, or do you give away free venue anymore to bigger conventions?
I'm one of those that I give back when I can. So I recently just did a promotion for the proms. In my head, I have a number each quarter that I want to reach money wise. And if I reach that number, then I want to give back. So in between December and this year, I had already reached my goal by the beginning of March. So I automatically knew that I was going to do a giveaway for the photo booth. So I advertised doing a free session for a prom because last year when I made my mark, I did a giveaway for a charity, and I didn't choose a huge charity that everybody else would just choose anyway. I chose it was actually called the Humane Society, and they are a local charity here that is for women breast cancer recovery process. And probably no one knew about that. And I chose that to be my giveaway avenue just because, again, I'm one of those people that I'm going to always give back. I'm trying to not let the negative people, that's one of my major downfalls, I can tell already, is trying to not let the negative people stop me from giving away, because people are just so, I'm going to say it, people are ignorant sometimes. And I am still a work in progress, and I am still, working on myself. And one of the things that I knew about myself is I don't like ignorant people. My temper for that is just, it's bad. So for advertisement wise, let me stay on topic. Yes, like I said, I dibble and dabble. So I do Facebook ads, I do Instagram ads, I promote on my own. If I'm out and about and I hear somebody talking about a photo booth, here's my card. I always have my cards on me, at least 60 of them at all times, in my purse, in my pocket, whatever it may be, because a lot of people are having parties and events during this time frame. If you even mention the word party or birthday, I'm going to hand you my card. And that's actually helped me to stop being so antisocial, because I am completely to myself. I will talk to anybody all day long, but I will not go and actively try to talk to you. It's like I'm to myself, but I am very friendly. I guess I should say that.
No, I completely get what you're saying, because a lot of times when it comes to what I do, I have always been the one that's like this, but my friends and my husband especially, they're like, oh, my wife does this, my friend, she could do that. Oh, my friend actually was walking in like a skirt that I had made her. We went to the pool, and she was walking, she had it was a simple plain cut skirt that I had made for an outfit, and she was wearing it with her bathing suit. She was walking, and everybody was stopping her. She was like, right there, my friend, she made it. And I'm over here like,
don't point at me, please.
Oh, my wife does photography. You need pictures? And I'm just like, oh, and it's like, you have to learn to be that, which at the same time, if I know you, or if I can break that ice in some way, I'm like, like, hey, I do this, let's go do here. Hey, let's do, and I'm very friendly. I'm very open with people. So it's like, that is something good to point out to people, because a lot of times, again, it goes back to like, a closed mouth don't get fed. How am I supposed to know that's what you do? I got birthday parties, quinceañeras, weddings. I didn't know you had photo booths.
Exactly.
How would I know unless you tell me, or you're constantly? I always tell people, I need to talk about this too. I've been struggling with my solo podcast episodes, but a closed mouth don't get fed, as well as we have to be in people's face about stuff. You have to constantly be posting. Like, I'm still confused as how people don't know I have a YouTube channel. Like, that confuses me, because I'm always posting about it. However, we don't always see everybody's posts. I get it. So it's like, you also can't post about it one time and then 6 months later post about it again and go, how come you didn't know I had a whatever? How come you didn't know I did this? How come you didn't know I did that? You have to be in everyone's face with your product or service, or both.
And I do want to say at this point, give a shout out to my husband, because he is when I say the complete opposite of me in that aspect. He was my inspiration to stop, or I can't say stop, attempting to, better myself on that aspect. He will network with anybody. He will talk to anyone. He will go introduce himself to anyone. I guess I'm shy now that I'm saying it out loud. If I hear an end for me to get into a conversation, I'll take it. But if it's like we're sitting at a table and you're minding your business and I'm minding my business, I am completely okay with that. And if you were to say hi, I'll say hi back. you start up a conversation with me, though, I can sit there and talk to you for as long as you want me to talk to you for. But that's helped with advertisement too, because he always says all of his referrals come from word to mouth. And that's the most powerful way. And listening to him, and I hate to say it, and I hope he never hears this part of the podcast, he is right.
I've had to say that a few times myself. I understand. It sounds like our husbands are like the same person, because my husband is exactly that same way. I always said, they go out and they can meet anybody. My husband gets things and could talk to people, and don't let him go to a bar and start chatting up anybody. He's getting free drinks for everybody and all. I'm like, what? And I'm over here sitting here like, that she's wearing a pretty dress, I should say something. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I guess that's that
Same
opposite
way.
attract thing. Because especially in marriage, I always say this, in marriage, we should complete each other where we are not whole. So you're shy or reserved and he's not. And that's exactly what you need. And where he is whatever, you're the one that's like, babe, we need to organize this. We need to set this up so you can, because I know I do that to him. Why can't you find that if you put it back where I gave it to you? I labeled that
all
for you.
day.
And I label things. So
his and mine.
So I understand where you're coming from. Like it's that's amazing. That's really amazing that we can have. That's a good aspect. A spouse is someone. I don't know if you saw my post the other day about, people are always talking about, oh, you have to be single to get where you want or get, move on with your business or whatever. And I didn't understand that, because I've always been the one to hold myself back, and my husband's like, babe, do you need this? Let's go here. Let me talk to that person. Have you told so-and-so this? So I don't understand that aspect of someone holding you back from something you want to do. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't people like that, but you shouldn't have to be single. It's just you with the wrong person.
Yeah. That, and you need to have your own mind. If someone is literally holding you back from doing something that you want to do, maybe you should think about yourself.
Be selfish that time.
And yeah,
definitely
think about yourself.
Be selfish. I love that. Do you ever travel with any of your work? And I mean, you do say you travel a lot, but for work specifically, for the blog, or travel outside of your own city for the photo booth?
As far as I'll go is Nashville. So that's simply because I have family in Nashville. I honestly hate going to Nashville for the simple fact that it is starting to turn into like an Atlanta situation. And I just don't like being in the car that long. So, I travel outside of the city. So the closer areas, like South Haven, Mississippi, Olive Branch, Hernando, those areas outside of Memphis. And then the furthest.
Wait, Mississippi?
Yes. Memphis is literally a street away.
Memphis. Mm-hmm. I thought you said Mississippi.
I did.
Thought you
Yeah.
Oh,
Memphis,
that's another state over, right?
Yeah. Memphis is a street away from where I live, pretty much, from Mississippi. Memphis and Mississippi are pretty much right next to each other. And
beautiful.
And Arkansas. It's across the bridge.
Oh, wow. That's nice. I didn't know everything was so close. My husband did do a stint over there for work, and he loved it. He said it was beautiful over there. He was in, not Nashville, the other big name city.
Nashville and Memphis, or Knoxville, Chattanooga.
I'm really bad at this. He just travels so much for work. Sometimes I forget. But that's amazing. That is amazing. One other question. You kind of told me, but how exactly, if you could get like a little bit more, you did touch on this subject, but how exactly did you start the photo booth? Like, how do I explain it? How did you start the photo booth, as far as like, one day you woke up and you're like, I want to start a photo booth. What were the steps that you took to begin the photo booth?
It started off, I guess I can say, it's not a cliche, but this is the truth. It started off as an idea. We were at a party and they had one of those photo booths where you have to sit in there and then look at the camera and then take the picture. And it was so many of us trying to crowd into that thing and trying to coordinate how we were going to all get onto that one little strip that it annoyed me. I'm like, we've been doing this since we were children. This is not fun anymore. So I was just like, I'm pretty sure there's another way to do this, which is how On the Go Boss started too. I'm always thinking about another way to do something that I like doing.
Problem solving.
Problem solving. So I did research for like a month about it, and I was like, you know what? I can do this. I can do this part time while I'm still working, because at that time I was still working in corporate America. I was assistant manager before I took the plunge over to entrepreneurship. So, I did my research for like a month, started searching different types and seeing what was here. And I searched the market in the area to see what was here. And there was honestly not that many when I was searching. So for about a month, there was only maybe about 5 or 6 that I can honestly find. I was like, oh, that's not bad. California and like the outskirts cities, they had hundreds of the same type of photo booth, and they were all thriving. So I was just like, 5 or 6, that's nothing. And as competitive as I am, I'm taking over. That's the mentality that I had in my head.
You have to have that.
So, I got it. Started saving my money. Aside from my normal savings, this was specifically entrepreneurship savings, to get all of the equipment. And I started pulling resources from other areas as to how I can make money. So stuff that I was already doing, people were asking me to do, like traveling things for them and stuff like that. Just any little thing that I can do to just pull in money to put into that savings account. And then after the idea, and I went through my phase and I had all of the money that I needed to start, this was all in a 6-month time frame. Let me mind you, like from the time that I had the idea to the time that I actually took the leap to do it, that this was all within 6 months. Again, my job hit their strike 3, and me initially going to do it as a part-time thing while I was still working turned into me doing it full-time. So within that 4th month, it kind of sped up because now I was putting all of my time instead of just on the weekends or late at night into it. So I was literally pulling a shift every day for like a week into what I needed to do to get it started. I started purchasing my business license. I got my logo created, which I created myself. I was just like, what do you think about with the photo booth? Something fun. That took me like 2 days to create that. Got all of the legalities and stuff out of the way and made sure that I owned my logo, owned the copyrights to things that I was producing. I created a site. And then once I got my site finalized, I was like, okay, I guess it's time for me to launch, which wouldn't have happened. And I probably would have pushed it back another week. Yeah, I just kept pushing it back. It was completed for about 2 weeks. But being the nitpicky person I am, I kept finding things to fix. And he was just like, go ahead and list it. I was just like, no. So I ended up doing a soft release to my family and friends, asking them to give me their honest reviews to catch mistakes before I, announced it to the public. And I did that for about a week. And then I just made that leap and jumped in. And I already had a call list of who I was going to call that first week. I got my first booking 2 weeks in. And I was so nervous on that first one because it was 700. No, it was supposed to be 700 people and it ended up being 1,000 people. So I jumped in and I jumped in. I was prepared as far as having everything that I needed, but mentally prepared, I was not, because in my head, I was just like, okay, my first event will be like a little birthday party or something. No, it was an event for a magazine, and it was huge. But everything went perfectly as far as the event went. Just I was a nervous wreck the entire time. I didn't eat during the whole event. I was just freaking out that something would go wrong, but no, everything went good.
That is amazing. I just want to touch on something that I always kind of secretly have problem with when I want to do something. I have this thing that I started doing that I want to monetize. I want to, start sharing my services. And my first jump in my brain is, this is going to be too big for me to be able to accomplish. my jump is always like, well, if I do prom dresses, somebody's going to want a wedding style prom dress. It's going to be elaborate and I'm not going to be able to handle it and I'm not going to have time and da da da. And we don't realize that we need to just jump in, worry about that later. And that kind of happened with my first photography event for a friend. I was like, oh yeah, and she actually paid me what I asked, and I was so nervous. I didn't know one of my lenses. Like, I was scared out of my mind. And I was like, you know what? The night before, I was like, I just have to do this because there's no turning back. What am I gonna do? Give her, And so it's like when you just finally take that leap and realize that, like you said, your first event was huge. Usually you're doing like a quinceañera or something, or like a, kid's birthday party or something. That's great.
Yes.
That's amazing. And I love to hear that you just, jumped right into that.
Yeah, I guess I'm not one of those that second guesses myself when I'm in the process, because I prepare so much beforehand. Like, if I have an event tomorrow, I would probably still be preparing right now, going over everything to make sure everything goes without a hitch. So when I jump into something, I'm always trying to think positive, like, okay, it's going to go great. I'm not negative Nancy until something happens bad. And then that's when I start being realistic. Like, okay, so if this happened, let me fix it. And if stuff just keeps going wrong, that's when I'm starting to panic. But for the most part, it's, I guess I really just believe in myself. I didn't know that I was going to be an entrepreneur. Never would have guessed it. If you would look at me, back in college, I tell everybody that I was like, I have 2 degrees that I don't use. I didn't prepare myself in my life to be in this avenue.
Would you be able to, do you mind sharing what those degrees are in? I love to hear, like I said, people's background.
Yeah, I have a bachelor's in psychology and then a bachelor's of arts and sciences. So I double majored kind of late in the game. So I finished college in 5 years instead of 4, because the first year I was just like, well, I'm doing half of this stuff anyway for this other degree. Why not just get the other one? So I was kind of like a year late when I came to that mindset, and I had to take an extra year to finish that other portion. But
nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, I thought about it the other day. I was like, I went to college for 5 years and I don't even use my degrees. Like, that's sad.
No, it's not sad, because I feel like like I tell people, and it's like when I do these podcasts, it shows me more and more how I am right. We're kind of groomed to think you go to college, you get a good job in that field that you're in, and you live your life, and that's how you make your money, and that's how you save for your family. But a lot of entrepreneurs, we push ourselves into college and what we think we want. And then later on, we're on the other side of the field and we're like, well, I have this degree for no reason, and you never fall back on it. But at the same time, I feel like in college, your experiences can be different, or you can have a job. I actually had a job that gave me the insight that I have now on things. But you can learn things that you would not normally push yourself to learn. So you might think you're not using that degree, as in you're not being paid to do psychology or art science. Forgive me if I got that wrong, but you're not paid in that aspect. But that schooling taught you something that helped you in what you do now, even if you don't realize it. Psychology tells you about another person, so you know how to work with people.
Oh yeah, I've used them very well throughout my, different career avenues that I've taken. Sometimes I don't even realize that I'm analyzing people until I'm just like, oh, you're doing it again. Stop doing that. It's kind of weird.
No, it's not.
And I tell my husband, and he hates to tell me that I'm right, but I was like, I can figure out a person within 5 minutes of meeting them by their body language, because I'm really good at reading body language, about the first things that they choose to talk to me about, and then just a natural conversation with them. It literally takes me 5 minutes, and I'm never wrong. And he hates to admit it. I say, you are not going to like this client. I can tell you right now, just by listening to what you guys are talking about, he's going to try to get over on you. no, that's just how the business works. And then when he gets up, tries to do some getting over mess. Hey, what happened to that?
I saw this coming and I told you
What
about
happened to
it.
that client? Oh, I don't want to talk about that right now. Moving forward. Okay. Tried to tell you, but
I have to agree with you completely on that. And it's like, it's funny that you said, like, that's well, part of it is intuition. So I just finally learned to listen to myself, because I'm 99.9% of the time always right, or I can't figure. And you have the psychology background. I only took a class in psychology in college, but sometimes I'm like, I can't put my finger on it. Something don't seem right. And that's where that gray area also, I don't want to judge a book by its cover, because that's been done to me in the wrong way. So I don't like to say, oh, I already know what that person's going to do. I already know. But then I think it, I don't say nothing. I watch. The person comes
yes.
back and says, so this, and that happened. Oh, I already know. I could have told you that. Or I did tell you that, and now you see for yourself. So, I mean, keep that. It's, as an entrepreneur as well, we need to have that what is it called? We need to have that intuition and make sure we listen to it, because it can save us money and heartache. Like you said, your husband, this person gets over on them. You have to learn to listen to that, or at least take heed. So say, let me go into this with a dot of salt real quick. And as soon as he says, oh, this, and this, that's my red flag. Bye, I'm out.
Yes.
We need to learn
And
that. We need
people
to
initially tell you who they are.
Oh, I love.
It's just you have to actually listen to it. And I am a very observing person. I guess that's why I'm so kind of to myself, because I rather sit back and watch a room before I engage. It's not me being rude. It's not me being standoffish. That's just who I am. I've always been that way. I will literally sit back for about 15, 20 minutes before I decide to get up, because I'm seeing who's giving off good vibes and who's not. If you're too show offy, or sometimes that's a way you can judge a book by its cover. People being show offy, which is people I do not like.
There's a difference.
Yeah, who I
There's
do
a
not
difference.
like
I know
to
what you
show
mean.
off, to be around. Sometimes it's literally they're crying for attention because they need the attention. And then sometimes it's just those people who have exactly what they're saying. They need the validation from other people, or they just want the recognition. It's just, you kind of got to be careful with people. I don't judge by the cover per se, as like, oh, I'll never speak to that person again, or I'll never do business with that person. But your first impressions that I'm getting personally from you, I definitely take that into an account.
That's true. That's very true. Very important to think about. Like I said, at least gauge people. Don't,
Especially
don't
when
go one way or the other.
they're comfortable and in their natural environment. I like to do that at parties, because typically people are drinking. And
Oh, you got them like that.
my mom always said, everyone in my family always says, a drunk man speaks their truth. So it's just like, after about 3 hours into a party, I'm really starting to look around, like who's doing what, and I'm paying attention. And then that's when you can kind of tell who people are. It's just, you can't control every aspect about who you're trying to put on for or put face for when you're drunk. Now, when you're intoxicated in any level, I feel like that's when you really can figure out who someone is or what they like to do.
There's no lie.
And it's very, very easy to see at that point. But I mean, if you're drunk too, it's kind of hard for you to see that. But generally, I'm that person that I can pay attention very, very easily.
I love it. Oh my gosh, that was a very interesting. I like these answers. Speaking on the family aspect of running your business, do you face challenges, or how do you juggle, with the baby, being pregnant? How do you juggle, what your day-to-day and your business aspects?
I guess it's just a groove. So with us, we have chosen to never do daycare, partially because I see too many child abuse stories, and I'm
sorry, I post those too much.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that I would probably, you can bleep this out, I would probably end up in jail. Like, if I see that you caused my child any harm whatsoever,
You and any caring parent.
You just count your days, because if I can't get you in that very moment, oh, I'm coming back. It's not over. And to me, that's just one of the most foul, things that you can do, is to harm a child, an innocent child at that. So right around the time where I thought that I was going to put my son in daycare, everybody was posting videos about these abuse stories. And I'm thinking of the scenarios of what would happen. And all of them ended with me someplace that I would not want to be, being a mother and my child having to suffer because I was not there. So we worked out a thing in between him and I where we take days. So today I had the morning and he has our son currently. So at first we had it scheduled. Now it's just more of we wake up, hey, what are you going to do today? He gives me his things. If his things sound more important than mine, he doesn't make that decision, and vice versa. If I feel like his stuff sounds more important than mine, then I'll take over parental duties and take the front end. And then I'll just do what I need to do later on that day.
That's beautiful.
And then vice versa. So now we've gotten into a good group with one. So now we have to figure out how to get into that group with two.
I'll tell you one secret: baby wearing.
Yeah. Now my son, he is heavy. I'm not wearing him.
No, I meant for the new one.
Oh yeah.
Strap that baby.
I wore my son for a while until he just did not want to be worn anymore. And I feel like kids let you know.
They start walking.
Yeah.
They start walking and they don't want boob or whatever. They're just off somewhere.
Yeah.
Just feed me when I'm ready.
And then
baby wearing, yeah.
With I guess the biggest challenge that I had in the beginning was breastfeeding my son while starting a business, because at that time they were both new. And with that, that was the hardest thing for me, I guess, throughout my first pregnancy. Other than the last month of pregnancy, the first month of pregnancy and the last month of pregnancy, and then the breastfeeding journey, those are my three hardest points. Forget labor. That lasts.
That's like 20 minutes.
Yeah, that lasts, that's over with. But those three aspects were the hardest as far as being a mom entrepreneur for my first son. And that's just because everything was new to me. I was a new entrepreneur. I was a new mom. I was new at breastfeeding. I was new at everything. And I had to figure it out on my own and do what worked best for me and my family. So as long as I had enough milk for him, I was great. And then we were all vegan at that time too. So as long as I had enough for him, I was good in my parents' headspace when he was with his father, because I knew he was well taken care of and he's also fed. So I can focus more on what I was doing for work.
That is beautiful how easily, it's, well, you made it sound very easy and seamless the way y'all have it set up. And that's great that he's able to do that for you, because that is very important. I hope this baby doesn't have any issues and you just strap her on you and you're able to nurse and, get your day done. Those two aspects, I'll let you know, because I work at home and I had my second daughter as a newborn, baby wearing, pop a boob in the mouth, and click on the computer and toss the baby to her dad when he came home. And you know what I mean? It made life a little easier, especially that you're on your own time. That's beautiful.
Yes.
That is absolutely beautiful. So you can tailor it to the baby's naps and things like that. So that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Do you have any long-term goals, or what right now do you have long-term goals for your businesses?
Right now, these two businesses are avenues and income for me to open up my final and dream business. I will not speak on it because I am one of those people that I don't like to jinx anything. And I feel like it is a great idea. And when it's open, I will definitely invite you and let you know about it when I'm in that process. But right now, I'm doing the same thing that I was doing for On The Go Photo. I'm getting all of my legality stuff out of the way. I'm getting my plan situated. The idea itself has already been, I actually did that last year. It's already been scheduled on paper. I know exactly what I'm going to call it, where it's going to be, how it's going to look. That part's already done. The part that's not done is getting the licensing that I need, making sure I have complete ownership before I even announce the name of it. Getting that prime location, because this one will be my final
brick and mortar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Final hoorah. This is what I've been wanting to do for about 6 years now. I just haven't had any idea of how I was going to do it. So for the past year, that's all I've been focusing on as to getting that completed. So On the Go Boss and On the Go Photo are really two ways to get to that goal. My end goal is to open my final brick and mortar business.
Wow, that is intense. Yeah, brick and mortar is nothing to scoff at.
No.
So so because you have a lot going on, like people like to tell me, because I know I have a lot going on. I got my hands in everything. Do you have a brief how you schedule your day with the blog? And, I know obviously you work around the schedule of when the booth is needed, but like with your blog and your your son, how do you schedule? Like you wake up and blog post, you blog 1,000 posts and then you post them and schedule?
Let's see. I guess a typical day for me would be we would wake up. My son always comes first. So whether I have an event that day or not, I'm going to get him up, get him fed, get him situated in the morning, just so he's comfortable. So that way, if he's going to a grandmother's house or he's going somewhere else, if I have a physical event and both of us have to go, he's comfortable and he's not, all crazy. So he's taken care of first. I get myself together. And what dictates what has priority is kind of the conversation that we have in the morning with myself and my husband. So if I do not have a booking that day, then it's mostly I'm working for a booking, and as well as I'm doing my blog stuff on my computer. My computer and my phone are practically always attached to my body in some way, shape, form, or fashion, whether it's I have my phone or my computer's in my purse or whatever it may be. So, for example, if it's my day, like today, I had the morning blocked off, which literally was me telling him yesterday, I have something to do in between these hours, then that's my focus. And vice versa. If he has something to do, then I push it off for later on that evening or whatever it may be. I'm a very calendar friendly person. So I used to just write things on my physical calendar when it was just me worrying about myself. But because it's me and my husband, I send it on our iCalendars.
I do the same thing.
And we communicate back and forth that way because he's an entrepreneur as well. He owns his own real estate company. Well, he will be owning it. It's his family's real estate company. So we communicate better. Like if he has a showing, I don't want to call knowing that he has a showing. So I'll just send him a text or something. But generally it's a calendar based blocking off of the schedule or something of that situation. But calendars are my life. I am very organized. I write everything down, whether it's physically on paper or I type it on my phone. I rather people email or text me before they call me simply because I always have something going on. Even if I'm home, I'm working.
Oh, I understand that so much.
So,
trust me.
Some people get offended. I'll be like, hey, can you schedule a call? Just shoot me a text of when you want to talk or something like that. And they get offended. Like, why do I got to schedule? Because I'm busy. I have something to do.
Have you read The 4-Hour Workweek?
No.
That's crazy because it's literally on The 4-Hour Workweek. Email me. We could talk about it another time or schedule it with me. I suggest, that actually takes me to my next question. I actually suggest that you read The 4-Hour Workweek just in general. I mean, it seems like you're already on that path anyway. But the 4-Hour Workweek, it talks about how to kind of remove yourself from certain things so that you have more time for your family, for travel, for fun, but still get paid. So it's like, that's crazy. But speaking on that book, I love books. What type of media do you consume? Do you like podcasts? Do you like books? Do you like other blogs about building yourself up? Like what kind of media do you like?
I used to be all about books, but I have a son who likes to rip books. So books on our bookshelves are kind of limited space at the time because we can only put them so low before he can reach them.
Been there.
So now it's all about, I don't want to say just solely one media. I am podcast, YouTube, and any type of video that I can watch. I love TED Talks. So anything that's, I guess, educational or inspirational as far as what I'm doing or the goals that I'm trying to achieve, I'm all about it. So you just mentioned the 4-hour work week. Before you even finished your sentence, I had already put a sticky note to go and find it for me to read it. I don't have, I guess, yes, I do. I do have a favorite. I love TED Talks. Let's just say that. That is my favorite, a TED Talk. And then my other avenues are podcasts or YouTube where I can watch it while doing what I'm doing. Generally, on my computer, I have 3 different windows open, so I can be watching something and then still be doing work at the same time.
So my suggestion, because, I understand that life of books being ripped up, and also not to just say that, but you're an on-the-go boss. Who has time to be stuffing a ton of books in their bag? Mm-hmm. I am a audiobook and ebook person. So I actually, I have a blog post about this, how I actually download, like some of the older books you can actually find for free. And you can just download them and actually put them on your Google Play Store, book thing, or your Kindle app and read them straight from your phone. I've actually been doing that since I had an iPod Click, the little, the touch thing, on this wheel. And you can actually read books on the go. You don't have to worry about the baby messing them up. You can find them on all your devices because they are on the cloud of Google Play Books, iTunes Books, whatever it's called, and Kindle books. Also, obviously, Amazon sells the books. You can buy the books that way. That's how I read my books because sometimes I don't always have time to sit down and have a light and things like that. Sometimes I'm going to the bathroom or, like you said, you need something you can listen to. So YouTube actually has a lot of audiobooks. I think I even have the 4-Hour Work Week on audiobook on my YouTube playlist of my audiobooks where you can actually listen to it. And I like to do both. I'll read the book and listen to the audiobook afterwards or before, whatever. So just, mom to mom, just trying to help other people out there listening that this is a very good way because a lot of us go, I don't have time to read. Mm-hmm. But there's literally no excuse on not being able to consume books. Podcasts will tell you. Also, summaries on books. A lot of times I'll read a book or watch even a movie and I'll go on YouTube and look for the summaries. Because sometimes they'll break down, like their Cliff Notes version of it. And so you can have a better understanding or catch something you didn't catch before. So that's also a suggestion as a mom that understands my precious books being destroyed.
Yeah.
And being on the go. That's awesome.
He ripped
Do you
up
have any
my Michelle Obama book, and I just thought I was just going to faint. I said, out of all of the books that you could have grabbed, he ripped like one of the back pages. So I probably will not be able to figure out what page it was. Because when he ripped it and he put it in the toilet. So it was just like, I don't even know what page it is. I'll figure it out eventually. Luckily, I had already read the whole book.
Thank God.
But I still, I wanted to keep it as like one of my mementos. Yeah. It's like one of my prized books. This was written by a powerful Black woman. Why did you have to rip this book? You could have ripped the magazine that was sitting over there.
Oh, yeah, exactly. The magazine's cheaper. That's saying that, like, I'm a space saver, and it's like I don't buy a lot of books, but there's certain books that I will actually buy the book, and that I wanted to buy the actual book for that exact same reason. That is crazy. Oh, my gosh. I'm so sorry about that. Where were we? So, I think you have answered everything and more. This has been an amazing conversation. You seem to be on the same page. We seem to be kindred spirits, and I love it. And I hope to see more of what you have going on. What are your social media links? I want to know all your links, and I'm going to also have them in the show notes so everyone else can see them and get to you better. If you could just share those real quick.
Okay, so for my on-the-go photo, every single aspect is the same. So for Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube, it's all one word, which is on the go photo, and then T as in Tom, and then N as in Nancy at the end.
Tennessee.
So it's On The Go Photo TN is the @ symbol, and then that's for everything. My website is onthegophototn.com. And then my email for that is onthegophototn@gmail.com.
Okay.
So I made everything simple for On The Go Photo. Everything is the same. And then for On The Go Boss, same scenario. It is @On The Go Boss, all one word, for Instagram, Facebook, and my website is onthegoboss.com. And then my email is onthegoboss@gmail.com.
Beautiful. I will link all those in the show notes so that everybody can reach you. This has been like one of the best. Like, all of my podcast interviews are always amazing, and I love learning new things, but I really appreciate this kindred spirit thing we've got going on.
Well, I actually enjoyed it more than you think, because this is my first podcast that I've ever done. So
beautiful.
You have broken me from that fear. I honestly didn't know how it was going to go. I'm just like, how does this work? This is what I was talking about, like, literally before the call. And I was nervous. I was just like, I'm going to sound weird and just off the wall. And I'm just going to start getting nervous. But yeah, I loved it.
I'm so glad you loved it. Everybody says the same thing. They don't know how to, to take. That's why I like to do it face to face with video camera or face to face in person, because it does kind of break the ice. It's like we're just having a conversation.
Yeah.
We forget about its recording and everything like that. And I wanted to be very, natural. And that was like the best flow. I really didn't have to ask half of these questions. You just started answering them. So it was perfect. Perfect, easy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Janee. Is there any last words you'd like to tell anybody or say to the podcast?
I guess if you have a dream that you want to do what you need to do to get it done. The same energy that you put into another company, if you put that same energy into yourself, you can get exactly where you need to be. It will not be an easy road, preaching from literally doing it myself over the past year and a half, but it will be a rewarding road. So just take that leap of faith. If you have an idea or something that you know that's something you'd rather be doing, just do it. Stop making up excuses to not.
You sound like me. I love it. Well, thanks, guys, for tuning in. I hope you learned and enjoyed this as much as I did. And stay tuned for my next podcast episode. Thank you for listening to the Raising Bosses podcast. I hope you enjoyed, and please tell your friends and family. Go ahead and share this podcast on social media. If you or someone you know would like to be a part of this podcast, please email us at raisingbosses@gmail.com, or you could DM us on all our social medias, our Raising Bosses on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you and goodbye.